You guys, we just stepped into April, and here's the thing. Nothing is going to feel the same. You are not the same person. Not your life, not your routines, not the stories, not the thoughts in your head, not anything you've been telling yourself about who you are. The truth has surfaced. And there's been this mega buildup since the 2020 days. And now the pendulum has swung. We are fully in it. It's no longer this speculation. It's no longer this wondering. It's completely obvious. The tower has dropped. And if you've been asking for truth, buckle up or brace yourself or take a seat because the truth doesn't show up politely. The truth shows up with fire. It shows up with endings. It shows up with heartbreak. It shows up with everything you thought that was stable in your life. And if you're not ready for what's going to come up this month in April, it's not going to wait for you. There is no choice. This means that everything you've been working towards, all the inner work, all the consistency, all of the nurturing you've given to whatever it is you've been nurturing is going to fully render in. And for those of you who have truly been seeking truth, I have a really important announcement. Because in the deeper yogic and tantric traditions, especially when you look at Lord Shiva, his forms, he has various forms. Lord Shiva, just to name a few, Lord Shiva, Lord Rudra, and Bhairava. These are his forms, and they are the ultimate truth. Shiva is not sitting in a comfortable throne, per se, when we look at these different forms. He is living, meditating, dwelling in the smashana. This is the cremation grounds. And what more ultimate truth? Where is there a place that holds more truth than a cremation ground? It's this field where everything that was false was brought to an end. It's where the bodily form completely dissolves, and where this concept of grounding that we take so sacredly as yogis, as sadhakas, as meditators, this grounding concept, it's where that doesn't exist anymore. There's no more identity for that. There is no more vessel for that. That's where all of the attachments, there's nothing left to cling to. It's done. You are returned back. And the vessel is returned from where it came from. And it is offered to Agni, to fire. So when you say you want the truth, in a very real sense, you are stepping into that zone. You are stepping into that terrain. And it doesn't come in a way where it preserves your current identity or where it keeps your life aesthetically as it was before. And so it's a very powerful concept. And it's one that you have to remember, that if you are on this journey and you are seeking truth, understand where truth actually is sitting at in this realm. It is sitting there with Lord Shiva in the cremation grounds. And it's not for everyone. But this is where I bridge with the Western archetypal systems. I'm going to pull into that a little bit. And I do speak in tarot symbolism and archetypes, but I will break it down if you're not familiar. You can, I don't know, I find it very easy to just reference these archetypes, these characters, these systems within each card to life. It is life. It is the journey of life for the hero's or heroine's journey. Anyhow, so yeah, we see this reflected in the Three of Hearts, and I'll put a picture of it. I don't have my cards in hand right now. The Three of Swords. Ooh, excuse me. And heart red can be referenced to the color of love, passion, the root chakra, the earthly plane, fire as well, passion. And we see the three swords going through it. Swords is all about intellect, speech, cutting through things. We could say wisdom. earthly wisdom, articulation. And we see these three of swords cutting through the heart. And this can often be referenced to as heartbreak. It can be referenced to things of this sort. But if you take a look, it's raining in the image. So we get the water element coming in. The water element is all about emotions. And so this is the reading I'm doing for April. Exiting March. This is for early April energy reading here. And so we see the rain, and that's going to be referenced to as emotions. We see the gray clouds. The sun is being covered. We are immersed in the downpour of these emotions, of this hurt. So it's this really powerful symbol of heartbreak, sorrow, sudden betrayal, emotional pain. But to its core foundation, this card is not just about love, although there is a heart. What the core foundation of this card is, and what's been coming up with this double fire energy since 2026 through this Chinese zodiac astrology, is the momentum we've been speaking about. This momentum, it has finally come in, and it has cut. It has cut through whatever it is you've been experiencing that has to do with loss, sudden change, and all of things of this sort. But this card, it represents the painful truth coming to light. It represents that veil being dropped, and you now truly understanding things without you even doing anything. And so the truth hurts. And so it can mean a broken relationship. It can mean pain. It can mean, but it is also the necessity of acknowledging it. So it's this truth that comes in, and it just shatters you because it's so intense, and because it's disrupting, and because it's inconvenient, and because it's uncomfortable. But this is what truth brings to you, to the ego. It shatters that ego portion of you that was clinging to whatever false, outdated, bind was disrupting the flow of truth to come into you. And so it's being revealed. And this is what the Three of Swords really means, is these painful truths that come to the surface, and they're sudden. But what this actually means is that you are beginning to heal. You can't heal something. You can't change something. You can't move on. You can't build upon something that's not true. We can dress up. We can dress it up. We can dress around it. We can play around it. But if you're truly asking for clarity in your life, this is the absolution of truth, is to then have clarity over that. Because sometimes you can't understand the truth initially. And that's what the Three of Swords represents. Unable to understand why these changes, why these rejections, why these heartbreaks, why these sorrows, why these griefs, why these betrayals, so on and so forth. You can't understand them. And so you're in it, and it's raining, and it's hard, and you're feeling it. And very interesting enough, the following card is a Four of Swords. And this card is about rest. It's about recuperation. It's about yin energy, so that you can recover after that heartache. And it's just a signal of reflection. It's a time for healing. So in this sense, I feel like coming into the beginning of April for the energy we're in now, this is a really good analogy and something that is completely going on across the realm. You know, we're connecting the dots here. And often when we say connecting the dots, I think of the stars, and I think of how we are connecting the dots. And I think of planetary systems, and I think of star systems, and I think of how we are literally mirrors of what is going on cosmically, how we are mirrors, and we are channels for this change, for this momentum, for this collective energy that is double fire energy. And we are at a full moon today, April 1st. So energies tend to become heightened, and full moons we know are about releasing. We know that full moons bring up a lot of stuff within us that we have been suppressing or too distracted to acknowledge. And when we do this, we do face that Three of Swords. If you're lucky, you will face it, because most people don't get there. So if you've been seeking truth, if you've been seeking clarity, understand that it lives in the cremation grounds. It's not a simple gift to receive sometimes, but it is that. It is a gift. And so this is when you have to hold your foundation of trusting and of understanding that it's not always going to be in your control, that it's not meant to be, and that if mistakes are done, you're meant to make mistakes, and whatever sort of aftermath or residual energy comes up. And so often in these times do we just wonder, well, what if this or what if that? How could it have been different? And you just have to surrender to it and just trust it and understand that when you're in that Three of Swords moment, which so many people have been going through, you have to understand that it's the beginning of healing. It's the beginning of transformation, but everything you've been asking for has arrived, just not in the way you thought it would. And that's okay. This is where you're able to practice your utmost bhakti and devotion to the bigger picture, not to the egoic desire. So this is the beginning energy of the month. I have a feeling it's going to change pretty quickly. And this is pulling in from March for sure, but it's still here. Let me know how you've experienced this energy in your life, and take this time to continue releasing. You don't have to obsess over it or wonder if you're doing anything right. You simply bringing it up and taking some time to reflect, absorb, digest that what's going on in your life, that's enough. That's enough when the energies are this heavy. The work is being done to us on a cellular level, on a karmic level already. There's no need to be in denial, but there's no need to dive in too deep if you're already in the thick of it. So that's all I have for now. Stay tuned, and we're gonna continue this conversation related to the double fire energy and the tarot archetypes that just are so obvious in so many of our lives, and it's just a great way to balance this. And thank you for being here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share your thoughts, share your viewpoints below. Perhaps you're not experiencing any of this, but if you're not, I don't think you'd still be here by now. I'll see you soon. Om Namah Shivaya, and we will talk in the next one.